Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to another session of Who's the Deadbeat.
Hello, hello, hello.
If you guys don't know the disclaimer, go ahead and hit 'em with the disclaimer.
Who's the Deadbeat is not liable or reliable for any litigations or legal proceedings that you guys are already currently in the process of, and any to follow thereafter or hereafter after your interview. Please refrain from using people's names. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Anything that comes out of your interview of you telling your story is on you, not us. So let's just keep that in mind. But um, that's all I have. I'm just glad it's Saturday.
All right. I'm about to pin the link in the comments. Anybody else want to join and share their story? Y'all can. That's where it's at. We have a guest in the queue already. Finna bring you up. There we go. What's going on, Cam?
What's going on? How y'all? Sorry
How
about
We
are
that.
all
you?
good. We all good. So man, what's going on, man? You've been trying to get at us for a long time. You finally made it
Yeah,
up.
yeah, man. Finally, what's been going on? What hasn't been going on? That's the question.
We glad to
What hasn't
have
been?
you. We glad to
Thank
have you so that you
I,
can get
I,
into.
I appreciate y'all and y'all content, man. It touches me, because I identify directly and indirectly with a lot of people that be on here, and
Yeah,
the things that they go through. It's really a crime. It's really a crime. It's
Oh yeah.
no.
definitely.
Hmm.
Yeah. All right, well man, let's get right into it, man. We appreciate that.
Thank you for joining us. And yeah,
Yeah. So first thing first, you tell the people your name.
My name is Cameron, but I go
Okay.
by Cameron.
Okay. And
Um,
where you from?
I'm from Jersey, Newark, New Jersey.
Oh, okay.
48 years old. Um, just had it's my only child. He's 2 years old. He just turned two in August, and
he's being alienated from you.
yeah, yeah,
How
yeah.
long has it been?
Well, I seen him in August, right? Going against, things that I shouldn't have went against, and from the first time experience and wanting to see him because me and her, we like just it got ugly, you know.
Okay. Before
I
you
got
get into it, let me ask you a little backstory about y'all history. Um, you got one child, 2 years old, by one woman, correct?
correct.
Were you guys in a relationship, situationship? Was it a one night stand? Did you engage? Were you engaged? What did that look like?
It was a relationship.
For how
We
long?
we was together 5 years.
Okay,
Okay.
and how did you guys split? Who ended it?
Well, it was after my son was born. I ended it. I walked out. I got to that point. And I walked out. Like it got ugly.
Okay, so just basically a toxic relationship to sum it up. Is that what you would classify it as?
Or did someone
Uh, yeah,
cheat?
Because usually
right,
men don't just walk away, right? Typically,
right.
women in relationships, we know that even in marriage, the divorce rate is mostly women who file for divorce first. So we always like to ask if you like to share what was what caused you to leave your woman and you had a child with her. It's kind of rare sometimes
It
for
was
men.
it was more so of a disrespectful thing, like how she talked to me, the way she was acting, and coming at me crazy and stuff like that. And they say like she was going through what's that called, postpartum
Postpartum,
depression or whatever.
after having a baby.
And I tried to understand and deal with that and be there for that, but then it comes a point where though you just got to Because my biggest thing, like, is with me is respect. I don't disrespect you, don't disrespect me. And when I meet a female, I let them know my pet peeves was a deal breaker for me, and invite me to a private part that you don't have means you want to disrespect me to the utmost. Like
Yeah.
the
So what was any of the disrespect happening before the child?
No, it wasn't. No,
Oh, okay.
no,
Okay. So
it was strained there, but not to that like degree. No.
Okay.
okay. So you decided to walk away. And you say your son was 2. So kind of take us there. Like, how was that? I mean, I don't know if you guys had ever discussed if you split, what would be the terms of the co-parenting situation with the baby, but I'm assuming you didn't have time to do that. You just, went
Well,
by what was going on with you.
a day of the split, me and her got into it verbally. She told me to, invited me to her uh, private that she don't have. And when she said that, I like flinched at her.
Mm-hmm.
And we exchanged words and everything like that. And she was like, I wish you would hit me. She was like, and me and my sons will jump you. And I was like, and you think y'all gonna walk around the city knowing y'all jump me or whatever? So
So
she
this was this the first time it even got close to like a domestic violence type situation like that, where you had to feel that you had to, respond in a way to kind of make her back down, like, um and to kind of let her know to stop, what she was doing. Was that the first time that it got that far for her to even say anything about her other kids playing a part and trying to fight you?
Yeah, that's was the first time that happened. Yes. Any
Because
other
I'm
time I
assuming
used
you've
to.
been around them and stuff, right? Been with her for a number of years. You knew them very well, right? And they were older. So
Right.
add them in on that, that's kind of crazy.
Right, right, and it spilled over into a big thing to her getting this restraining order put on me against my son, her
Okay.
son,
Okay. So
and
before we get ahead of ourselves,
mhm.
Sorry about that, man. I got a cold, man.
Understood,
so he
understood.
he was saying that they had an altercation and she was, getting wild, and he like flinched at her, like, and
Mm-hmm.
she said something to him about her kids and her like jumping on him, and he was basically saying,
Wow.
do you think I will allow that to be? You think I'm just gonna just take that, basically? And so it ended up, he was telling me about an order of protection, correct?
Yeah.
Right, because
Okay.
when I said that to her, she was like, "Oh, that's terroristic threat," and she called the police. So I left. And then as I'm waiting on my brother to come, I see the police car comes. So I said, you know what, let me go back. So I went back, which she don't know I went back and talked to the police officers. So they told me, they said, yeah, she said that, you hit her, while she had the baby. And he said, but we don't see like no marks on her. She doesn't look like she's like, frantic or anything like that. And we asked if she wanted to go to the hospital. She denied it. He said, so just, just leave, don't come back around or whatever, you know. And
Okay.
that was that. So in the process of that, she's still, reaching out to me. This is before the restraining order.
Okay.
So he's reaching out to me. So I said, you know what, I'm, dealing with her is not good. So she'll tell me the baby needs something. And what I do is I get it and I get my niece or nephew or somebody to take it to her. She got upset
Okay.
about that and said, she told my mom, me and Cam laid down and had this baby. Why is everybody else, doing XYZ for him? And I'm telling you, they not doing it because they just choose to do it. They doing it because I bought and asked them to do it, or I just asked them to do it. So I'm getting it done still. Why do I
Right.
Yeah.
have to deal with you?
Which
When
kudos to
I'm
you for that,
Yeah.
because typically any man, we've talked to many men that have had, this is called, for those of you who are watching and don't know, the silver bullet. when a woman makes false accusations, or a partner, basically, not just a woman, a man can do it as well, makes false accusations about the other party doing some violence or some body harm or anything that can potentially get them an order of protection against the other parent, and that can automatically put a halt in the family court process where, you can't see the minor child either. And so men who go through stuff like that don't usually reconcile in a sense where I get it, they think of the kid. A lot of men do get caught up thinking about the kid, but just the fact that you were even willing, to still be involved and have other people do it. Now that was smart that you wasn't going around yourself and you were still trying to meet your child's needs. But men won't even deal with women who do things like that. And so I just wanted to give you your recognition for that, just to say you were still just trying, even with something so cold. Anybody lying on you to law enforcement, that's a red flag. Like,
And another thing I don't get is I don't get why women say like, "Oh, you a man, this your kid, so why you not doing it?" But if you put anything together where your kid is getting taken care of,
you
that's
making it
you
happen.
making that decision. That's something that you are doing. So I don't understand that, but I do understand that part of it is because she probably still wants you, and don't matter what interaction it is, negative or
They just
positive,
want
they
something.
want something.
Mm-hmm.
I,
Yeah,
I
and you
forgot this.
stopping
This
that.
this is what got the ball rolling. I forgot about this. I'm in the house and I'm using the bathroom, get ready to go to work, and I get a call. Now, usually, child support calls me my phone, but it's usually for the wrong person. So I'm listening, and they, I'm expecting them to say the person name they usually say, and they say my actual name, and I'm like, whoa. So I go in there too, and I said, "Listen, I just got a call from child support. You filed child support on me?" So she was like, "No, I ain't filed no child support on you or nothing like that, whatever." So I'm like, okay, So she said something to pertaining to court, right? But this didn't dawn on me at the time. So I'm at work, and I said, you know what? Let me call these people and see. So I call them and I speak to them, and they said, yeah, they said her name and said, I was like, huh? And when did this happen? So they told me the date that it was filed and everything. So I go back to her, and there was something about a letter somewhere in there. A letter that she was like, I gotta look at the letter and see. And I'm like, hold up, if you didn't file, you don't know nothing about it. What you mean this letter? So I said, let me see the letter. No, while I was at work, she said, I got a letter today from her.
Mm.
So I said to myself, my brother, I said, watch when I get there, and I say, let me see the letter. She gonna say, I don't know where it's at. I said, so I get there that night, and I said, let me see the letter. So she was like, all right, I gotta find it. I don't know what I did with it. I said, you just had it today, like you lost it all of a sudden. She was like, yeah, I had CJ, which is my son named Junior. I had him dealing with him. So I said, well, what did it say? I don't know. I ain't really get to read it. I just scanned through it or whatever.
And this
So
was before the whole
situation.
separation.
This is
So,
leading up to the escalation that I told you about at
okay,
first,
got it,
to the
got it.
disrespect and everything.
So
This is
yeah,
how it all started.
got it, got it. Okay, I just wanted to kind of get the timeline back together so we can kind of know when this happened, because typically they either file for child support and then comes the drama, or it's the drama and then they file for child support. So in your case, she had already was making those steps.
Or this
Mhm.
this did she actually file, or did she file like for any support from the state? Because sometimes when they
She,
file for that,
It prompts them to come after the father for
child
child
she,
support.
support.
she was already filing for I mean, she was already getting assistance from the state or whatever.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So that was
Um
something that she probably initiated.
Yeah, she definitely did.
Being that so he was 2 years old, they wouldn't wait that long. They
like,
typically want, do that right away.
she did it from the beginning. So she was like, she said something to the effect of oh, we got into it because this is my first child. She has two other kids, and this is my
Mm.
first. So anything I say, I know what I'm doing. You never been through it. You never had no kids before. Da, da. Because the baby is crying. And I'm telling her, like, listen, let me hold him. No, don't hold him. You're going to spoil him. He's 2 months old. He just came out of the womb. He still
Yeah,
needs that. Like, so I get mad because the baby is screaming, screaming, screaming. She won't let me pick him up. With like, and that irks me. Where as though it's always you got the final decision. Like it's just your child. That's how she always showed it to me that it was her child and she was law with that child.
Let
So
me ask you something before you continue. You said she had other children. Were they much, much older than your? Was it a big age gap? Because
yeah.
what was the case with those dads? Like, did you see any red
Um.
flags with how she handled her
Oh
other children and her other kids' fathers or kid father or whatever?
yes. From one time I know she sent him down, the oldest one, which is I believe he's 21, I believe.
Mm,
She sent him down south to stay with his father. And I
okay.
know she was trying to get in contact with him, and her and the father got into it, and the kid's father got into it, and he was like, and they were saying some vulgar things to each other, like she told him suck my, and he was like, go somewhere and smoke, drugs or whatever, and she was like, I ain't never smoked no drugs or whatever, so and I'm like, wow, this is, and
yeah.
Makes
then
sense. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I
so
was
and
just
then
curious.
So did you
mhm.
get involved with any of that,
No, no,
or you stayed
no,
out
no.
of it?
Yeah, I'm on my bed. That's
Yeah.
his son, her son. It
Okay.
has nothing to do with me. So, you know, um, and the middle one, his father, it was one of those don't know who the dad is type
Mm.
thing. But
Really?
I come to find that out later because she was lying about who the dad was. But after speaking with her mom, I found out information that she didn't disclose to me
Mm.
about that
Mm.
situation.
So yeah, it's just looking like bad history and patterns with having kids with different men and not working out. And then, this is why she probably feels the way that she feels because she's been basically, raising these other kids on her own. So your kid is no different if she would remove you out of this you situation, but really you removed yourself. And I don't think that she liked that. But
Yeah. I mean, you can
Mhm.
still be a father and removing yourself from a bad situation.
exactly.
So
But
Exactly.
that was
And
her
you're
thing.
right.
She
She
was like,
shouldn't own the kid.
you ain't fight for him. You just left. Like, why do I have to fight for something I want to be there for? Why do I have to
exactly.
fight you to do that? It doesn't make sense. Oh, you just left because I won't sit there and argue with you. When I know it ain't gonna benefit me none to sit there and argue with you, because at the end of the day, you're gonna be right and it's gonna be done your way. So I'm walking away either way with my legs, my tail tucked between my legs. Why would
Yeah.
I
It really,
constantly keep
really
telling
ain't
myself?
about the kid. It's about y'all.
To
So
her.
Mm,
yeah. So
Because walking away from her is not walking away from your son. And we don't know why women look at this whole family, dynamic. Yes, it was that, or that, men
mm,
would, would wanted that at first. But when it's not working out and they say, hey, okay, I don't want to be with you anymore, that doesn't mean that they're walking out from their kids or walking away from their children. And a lot
mm.
of women make it a two for one. Like, oh, you left us, or you don't want us, or
yeah.
you left your family, or no, I left you. I don't want to be with you, but I still want my kids. So yeah.
Yeah.
So dude, so how long has it been since the last time you seen your son?
The last time
You
I
said
seen him was
August.
for his birthday on August 26th for his birthday.
So is it only you, or is any of your family members being alienated too as well?
Oh yeah, yeah. Like she was like oh, like your family say they care about CJ, this and that, but nobody call or check on them. And I said, since I've been around you, how many times you seen me call and check up on my nieces and nephews? It
Hmm.
just
Right.
don't
Like,
happen. When we
it's
meet
not
up, we
that
meet up. Like,
responsibility.
It's not their responsibility. I mean, when they talk to you, they'll probably call and ask like how the kid doing, but
right, right.
yeah,
So that's why I'm like, that didn't make no sense.
So
You
back to
know,
this protective order. When was that put in place?
this was put in place. This is August, the beginning of this year, like around February of this
And
year.
so you guys, it wasn't a no contact order where you couldn't have
Yeah.
any contact.
Yes, it
So
was.
basically, both of you all haven't been following that order, right?
Right, right.
Is she contacting you too?
Yes. Well, I
So have
stopped.
you?
Since his birthday, I stopped.
Okay, so before we get to the birthday, because I'm just trying to, for people who's watching, okay,
Mhm.
your situation, this is no, ill will towards you because a lot of people do what they do, but we like to keep it real on this platform,
Right, right.
just so that other people can know what not to do.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
When there's
right.
a protective order in place, you do not contact that person. Not even
Right.
through a third party. I understand it's your son, you just, caught up. But see, this is the thing that sets you up for the next big thing. And
Yeah.
I don't know, have you ever heard of a lifetime protective order?
Yes, I did. Yes.
Okay. So some people don't even get a chance to get the temporary or the TPO or the beginning of it. They can
Mm.
just go full throttle and go straight to that, and then they don't can't even be bothered with their kid for a lifetime, right? And so
Right.
protective orders are very tricky. Again, if you don't know about the silver bullet, do your research. But in your case, you chose to violate that order for your son, and we're gonna get to what probably happened for his birthday, but it's just not a good thing to do. Like never do
Right.
that
I
because
agree.
it can land you in a deeper ditch. On top of you just the only thing you should do if anybody put false accusations on you is go try to prove that didn't happen. That's
Yeah.
all you should be doing. You should be fighting that, getting that removed to the best of your ability. Because if it's gonna stop you from seeing your kid, you don't want it. You don't want to try to make up with the person who put it on you, or try to just do something not to get in more trouble. No, you want to defend yourself because you have to still be a father to your kid. You have to still be present. And so if somebody's actively trying to stop you from being present by using that tactic, what you don't want to do is violate their order and make matters worse. So I
Even
just
with
wanted to
even
share that.
even with her, she's violating the order too, and
Exactly.
you could
You,
use
you
that
said
to
against her, right?
yeah.
I was gonna
Yeah.
ask him that. That's why I was leading up to it. Like, wait, do you have proof that she been reaching out to you? Because they'll just know that it's false. You can't go into court and say, "Hey, I'm afraid of this person. I fear for my life," but you reaching out to them. Instantly, they'll throw that out. So,
Right.
or I think so. I'm not giving legal advice. I'm not an attorney, but just
Right.
from
Right. I
personal
understand.
experience, having a protective order myself, going through that process, I know how serious it is and how you have to really abide by these court orders. People tend to
Right.
think that they're a joke, but they are not. We don't
Right.
we don't subscribe to that or even condone anybody not following the court order. I don't care how you think that it's in your kids' best interest to just be friends on this day or do something different that day. You will pay later. So I just wanted to touch on that. But you okay, we know you ain't been following that protective order. You've been trying
Right.
to do it a better way, but it still didn't
Right.
work because here we go. Whatever happened on your son's birthday.
And
Right.
how long was it before your son's birthday?
What? Since I seen him,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, I got the restraining order like February, so it's like February,
Like four
January,
months or something like that. 4 5.
like,
February to August.
like yeah, like no, I started seeing them because let me see, like around June,
Okay.
And
around June.
was you seeing her too?
Yeah,
Be honest.
yeah. I said yes.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
And
No, I'm talking
so
about was you seeing
seeing her.
her?
What? As far as me and her intimate or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, 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 no.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. All right.
Okay.
Because a
Because
lot of
that
men
they
make
do
that
that too.
mistake.
They do that too. It's just human
Mm.
nature.
It's
People
just
just
Right. I understand. Yeah, because
yeah.
what brought that on was she constantly trying to get in. She contact my sister saying, "Oh, tell him his son is in the hospital," and I'm telling my sister like, "Okay, I'm gonna get my brother to go by and check or whatever." I'm scared. Everything I do, everything she do, and my heart is like is with ulterior motives. So
yeah.
I'm like, and then I phone feed myself like, well, this is your son, so if that's what it is, then that's what it is,
Trust your
which is
gut.
not right. So and I end up feeding, going to the hospital, and everything like that, and from there, She tell me that she found God, and the apologies, and she want to do right. And I'm sorry, before this, she brought him. She was popping up at my mother's house, knowing at the time that's where I'm staying at. But you're so scared of me and everything like that that you just pop up at my. It's just yeah.
Yeah,
So
Did
man.
you ever think about going back to court? Did you try to fight the protective order, or is that something that you just?
I was upset, right? And this is the point now because they want me to do anger management and abusive spousal abuse classes, and I'm like, I'm not gonna put myself under that. And they're like, why I always got to fight, but she don't have to. She had people to fight for her. I got to go. Like I tried doing that legal aid thing. They said there's nobody to represent that represents. You have to pay for your own attorney with that, and I guess the state of New Jersey. They do it for criminal defense, but not
Family
Family.
court.
uh, family court, right? So it's like, I got to jump through all these hurdles and everything just to be a father to my child, just because of what she said. And how she got it off was it was times when we went to court and she didn't show up, and they give her all the time in the world to make up for not being able to be there. But the one time I missed, they proceed with everything,
Yeah,
and
yeah, it's dumb.
I end up losing track of the dates. Like I was on my way to court, come to find out that it was the day before, which I don't. So I lost the days.
Yeah, that's tough, man. Yeah, that's another prime example for the people that's watching, man. Y'all got to make sure y'all stay on top of those dates because they'll do you bad, especially as a man. We get done bad.
Yeah, we
Yes,
know the courts are biased.
yeah, and they
Um,
basically forced her to go get the restraining order because they told we in court, and it was like, oh, she told them about the police incident. They said, oh well, you had to go and get a restraining order. She went to go get the restraining order, and then she ended up leaving, and then she ended up going back like a month some change later to get it again. So it was like, at her leisure, for her to not like, oh,
Yeah,
she's really good. If you
I'm
really
finna
want
tell
to,
you
you gotta
how
get
it's
it
gonna
done.
go for you, man.
wait, is it still active?
No, it's done. It's done. I
Okay,
have
so it's been dismissed. So when did that happen? Was it prior to the birthday party?
what, the restraining order is still
Yeah.
standing.
Okay,
It's
that's what
still
I was
standing.
asking. Was that still active? The
Yes, it's
order.
still active.
So how
Yes.
long is it for?
Until I get the counseling for anger management and a spousal abuse class. So I get the certificates for that, completing that. Then I have to go back. Then I have to go back to court to see if I could get, custody. They said first it'll be
Supervised visitation.
supervised visits, and then they go from there.
Yeah, I was just about to say I don't know why they're making you do spousal. If anything, they should make you do like a parenting class. But I know that it's not family court and it's two totally separate courts. It's a domestic violence situation, but spouse like y'all not married. So I don't get the angle with that. I mean, anger management should be enough.
All right. So
Maybe that's what it
before we get
was.
to the
Domestic violence court. I mean, that's domestic violence. Some program or whatever for that
Yeah.
too.
yeah, so I'm before we get to the birthday, I'm gonna say this, man. You gotta make sure you do all of that because if you don't, it could be worse. It could be worse for you in the future. As far as like if you find somebody else, she can play all these games with you, man. It's all about a control thing. It's a control factor. So once you find somebody else, then that's gonna open up a whole nother can of worms for you. And you want everything in order when it comes to your son. So
And
Mm.
in regards to legal aid, this is how it goes. So a lot of people think, and we know every state is different, every case is different. Everybody, not everybody, but most people that we talk to think that you go to legal aid and boom, they gonna fight the case for you. They gonna do all the work. They go No, legal aid is just like a library. It's a resource. They can look at some things. You can consult with an attorney just to see your next steps. But ultimately, they will always, almost always, tell you to get a lawyer just because it's court. You are
Mm.
not equipped to fight a case, right? Nobody will recommend or encourage you to go pro se especially when it's something that you have no knowledge of. So that's just their job to, attorneys are partnered with them so that when people come there, they can refer them. Legal
Right.
aid is just the start, right? So when you go there, and a lot of people they get discouraged anyway. Oh, they can't help me legal aid. Okay, it's just nothing I can do. No, you just need to do the research. Everybody can afford a lawyer. We know this. Like it's very, very expensive, but you can get the bare minimum of your rights without a lawyer. You don't
Mm.
need an attorney to get like just 50-50 or like visitation. It's gonna not probably be completely easy, especially with your circumstance given the history with this domestic violence situation. But just for people watching, if you go and you have steps to take to establish your rights, you can do that on your own. You do not have to pay thousands and thousands of dollars to figure out what paperwork to file in a courthouse. You can pay the fees, and sometimes you can even get that waived. So people need to just start doing their research. We've done it more than once. We've talked to people who did it. We know people that have got where we've got. And if you want custody, which sometimes a lot of people don't want like full custody, you just want to be able to visit your kid without somebody trying to tell you what you can and can't do with your own kid. You can
Right.
pretty much get that most of the time without a lawyer. It gets messy with like divorces and you trying to get full custody and you trying to remove child support completely, and but a lot of things can be done without an attorney. So let's just be clear. And I'm gonna start preaching that a little bit more on this platform because they just don't tell you these things. They make you feel like,
it's impossible.
oh, you got to get a lawyer because you don't practice law. But nobody can tell you, hey, you can't represent yourself because you can. You can do that, and then you you almost can force somebody to get an attorney because they don't want to do it pro se, but they still got to show up, right? You
Right.
go there and you get it started. She has to show up, or you gonna get what you asking for. That's how it works. And sometimes if you don't, if she gets an attorney, then you may have to. They may give you a appointed attorney
Yeah.
based on your finances. So don't
Yeah.
just think legal aid. That's the end all. That's just my 2 cents on that. So we can
All right.
continue.
So all right. So now take us, because you said when you seen the, she was saying she was talking about God or whatever, and then now it's the birthday. So what happened?
Well, it's before the birthday. What? I before the birthday, I see he at the hospital, whatever. So she like, oh, I realized how much he needed a dad, and how much he misses you, and things of that nature. Okay, so we're trying to do this co-parent thing, and this is before the restraining order was in effect. Right here, this is just her
Okay.
establish her dominance with my son, saying, listen, if I say you can't see him, you can't see him.
Okay.
Um so we trying to do the co-parenting thing. If he needs
So
son, she
you
lets
trying
him.
to do the co-parent thing.
Right.
She wasn't
Okay.
trying to do the co-parent thing, but okay.
Yeah, right. So it's things that he needs or whatever. So she called me. I'm about to go pick CJ up from school. Do you want to ride with me to get him? And I want to say no, but then and my mom, like, the way she take things is like not good. So just to keep the peace, yeah, I go. And after we get my son, she was like, you ride with me to Walmart or whatever like that. So I said, no, I'm not doing all that. So I said son to her. Her mother was on the phone with her. She on the speakerphone or whatever. And I said son to her. I like, so how was your night or something like that? And she's like, why are you worried about my night? We ain't together. Da, da, da. And I'm like, you know what? I don't like this energy. I'll talk to you later. So I went to walk off. You a fucking oh, excuse me. You a deadbeat. That's why I don't. Yo, what is you talking about? You can't go with me to get. I give you the money to get them. No, I don't want to go with. I don't want to be around you now right now. Like, or I get it later and I bring it to you. Oh, f you. You a dead. So I got emotional and I said, I invited her to my private part. Oh God. She pulled up next to me. Was like, "What you say to me?" So I'm still walking. She gets out of the car, looks for something to throw at me. She picks a brick up. Her mother's on the phone the whole time, telling her, "Don't do that. Leave him alone." Da, da, da. Throws the brick at me, mouth and all. I'm walking. I start back walking. She gets in front of me again. This time she gets out of the car, tried to spit on me.
Mm.
So that's what made her. When I said with the month and a
This.
half,
Mm-hmm.
that's what really made her go down there and force the issue with the restraining order. After that situation right there, and it's
Yeah.
always since my son was born, it was always. That's why you never gonna say bye to your son. That's why you never gonna see your son. Like favorite line of all time. That's the go to right there.
Yes, it is. They
That's the go.
weaponize these kids instantly. They
And
be
that
pregnant talking about yeah, my baby and then and yeah.
that's sad, man. It's your first kid, man. That's
And
sad.
she knows this, and she's playing on that as well.
Yeah.
So now I go through, and now we move on along. When he comes from the hospital. So now the restraining order is definitely, without a doubt, in place.
That's fast.
So
Mm-hmm.
she's talking about, having it lifted, and I started doing the class, but I stopped on good faith, or with me having my past of being an ex addict, and wanting to see the good in people and everything like that, and went against my better judgment to just continue, and I trusted that she was going to drop the restraining order, but more so it was a lease. I came to find out, later on down the line, it was a
How
lease.
long you been clean?
Six going. This January made 6 years.
Congratulations
Congratulations,
on your
man.
sobriety.
Yeah,
Thank
That's
you,
sure.
thank
that's
you. Appreciate it.
that's
And keep it
amazing.
up, man.
Yes, yes, and ooh,
Yeah.
that's a whole nother story there.
Yeah.
But even with that, like, and dealing with in my sobriety, like, if I ever look for a reason to go back to that, when I say she did that to me, feeling hopeless and
Yeah.
ain't been to jail in 16 years and looking both ways before I cross the street, and instead of throwing the paper on the ground, put it in my pocket, and if ever something to send me back, that would have been the straw that broke the camel's back there, because I was felt worthless,
Yeah.
hopeless,
Yeah.
like, just, ooh,
Yeah. Parental alienation is tough,
It'll
man.
do it to you.
And
Yeah.
I'm glad, man, that you didn't. And I'm glad you figured it out and you doing what you gotta do, man.
And I'm also glad that you, both of us, like, are sharing your story and speaking up because sometimes just holding all this stuff in and not having somebody to talk to who can relate and who can understand you is just another burden and a toll that you got to carry along. And, and this is why
yeah,
we do this. We tell people all the time, like, you are not alone. And I know that may sound cliche,
mm,
because to go through it, you won't know until you actually go through it, and you've been through some stuff already where you
Yeah.
understand if something is strong enough to take you back into your past and a lifestyle that you don't want, you already know right there that it's something that you're gonna have to conquer, because it could just destroy your whole everything you work so hard for, on top of the fact that you need to be a father to your child. So you got so much at stake. you got
Yeah.
you got more at stake than others.
Yeah, man.
mm,
This is your
and
life. This is your
right,
life.
right.
So before you continue with the story, can you just explain some of the things that you did to deal with not, going back or,
So,
just dealing with your mental?
um, well, I spoke about it. I cried when I, got a chance to, because sometimes it hurted more that I wanted to cry and it wouldn't come out.
Hmm.
I spoke on it with those that I trusted. I constantly prayed on it, asked God for strength. I uh I just put myself in positive positions and constantly reminded myself, like, bro, listen, if you go back to that, you ain't no good. You ain't gonna be no good at getting him back. You ain't gonna be no good at yourself. Everything that you had, the trust you established back with your family and all that's gonna be wiped away. And You gonna let her win like that? It ain't about
Don't
her
do
winning,
it.
but it's about
Yeah,
me
we
recognizing my worth and what I
Yeah.
deserve.
Yeah. You got too much to lose. You got too much to lose.
yeah,
And she
Yeah.
know that. She know that,
Mm,
right? Let's be realistic, right? And so when you fighting up against something like this, if you don't have nothing else to lean on, you lean on just that thought right there. You got way too much to lose.
mm,
yeah, man. We see it all the time. Young men growing up without fathers. You see what it
right.
do. So,
Mm.
man, we appreciate you sharing that part of it. All right, so now let's get to this birthday party, man.
Okay, so so she tells me, I said, how much you plan on spending for CJ party? So she was like 800, 600 for his party, and then 200 for clothes. I said, okay, I'll tell you what. Um, I pay for the party. I give you the 600 for the party, and you just do the clothes. Okay, no problem. So
Sound
now,
fair?
we do that. I give her the 600, and then now she adding all these other amenities into it, and
But of course,
I'm slowly kicking out like, oh, listen, this is his second birthday party. Like, really, you give him some bubbles and a couple trucks, and you're on top of the world. We got to do all this other stuff. In my mind, I'm saying this, but I knew not to go against it. So I'm
uh,
I'm going with the plan. So once we get to the his party, some dude she knew that grew up or whatever like that, he brought like a suds machine. So she hanging on his neck like, oh, you got me a suds machine. I said, well, there, I gave $600 plus, and I ain't getting no thank you or nothing. I said, but you know what? It's my son. You know what I mean? Even though I tell you I appreciate it, but oh, you give me, I grew up. I said, it's not about that with him. I said, it's a respect thing. It's appreciate. Don't I give it? Why am I wrong for looking for it in return? You look
yeah.
for it, right? You. So now is she more focused on the fact that I said something about her giving the guy a hug and study what the actual thing of it was.
Reason.
but was you jealous a little
So
bit?
huh?
Was you
I
jealous
wouldn't
a
get
little bit?
I wouldn't get too flying what she do. Like I said, and I already and we spoke about this as well as far as listening. Like we break up. Listen, nobody is to be around our kid unless we have serious intentions with that person. That was the
That's
agreement.
fair. That's
And it
fair.
sounded good, at the time. But
Shit.
But anybody that's watching this, that's what they gonna say. Ah, he wanted her. He da da da. But we like to pay attention to the facts. And you human, like this is a lot. Like this is somebody that you loved and cared for and had a kid with at some point, right? And so it's not like it's uncommon. So we just like to ask, but if you had another reason and you standing on it, it makes sense. Like men are big on respect and just like why you sending me through all this? But Joe Blow could show up and it's the best thing in the world. And this is my like I get it. Like it ain't always just about the person. It's really about like you said that mutual respect and just
you know,
everything y'all done been through. So I believe you. Like at first I was gonna say, I don't know, maybe he still want but you say you ain't did nothing, you walked away. I get it. So yeah.
right. Because it's not like I say, even like with my drug addiction, sometimes you really gotta learn how to let go. And let go and let God. And even though I love her because that's my son's mother, and one of the best for her is also one of the best for my son as well, because she's going to be the one there to give him those certain things, qualities, and everything like that. So yes. So I said, and even I told her that I said, because she was more pointing about who I'm dealing with or whatever, and I said, listen, I trust you, and I trust that you're not going to have just anybody around my son. You know what I'm saying? So if you
Yeah.
allow that person around my son, I had to trust that this person's gonna do right or whatever.
Right.
You know, I
Yeah.
can't control. That's your household. That's your life. I can't control that. You
Exactly.
know, so that was the thing. So now,
Don't sound like a bit of baby daddy to me.
so no, it's that's far my
He
like
said,
my
shit.
family. If I could get them to come, they'll tell you it's far from that.
I know, but
Far.
you know that's what the bit of baby mamas
Nah.
typically say and think, and they
Mm.
just reverse it and say it's that's what it is. And so I don't know what the rest of the party was like. So just get us back there because I really want to know if she was focused on you saying that she hugged the guy. What was
So
that like?
so we get so we leave. I let it go. I let it go. So now it's like these demands is coming. She was like, I need you to stay over here from 8 at night to 2 in the morning, so you can watch CJ while I go to work. And I said, the, I said, listen, okay. I said, you have to understand. You have when are you gonna get the restraining order lifted? Because I'm putting myself in harm's way by even coming. Oh, my plan is not to do. I don't want to cause nobody no harm. Rather, you even doing it intentionally or unintentionally, just by me being in that area. If I'm on my way there and they stop me and then see I got a
Hmm.
restraining order and I'm involved, you not. Oh, and then that's when it comes out. Oh, I feel as though if I get it lifted, then you gonna change up. Well, it's not about changing up on you. It's about being there for him. You keep
Exactly.
Change
putting.
up. I mean, she said it
So
like
she
she used it
using
as a control
control.
factor.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
That,
what? What?
that's what
Like
it's always been.
oh god.
Really, when it's
Um,
not like if you was a really a crazy man and wanted to do something with it or not, you could do it.
Right. But she like she. Ugh.
No, she
I
using.
want to say you know it's no more Mr. Nice. I hope it's no more Mr. Nice guy. Like
no,
I hope.
that's why I said I realized that, and like she ain't say, oh, don't come see him no more, nothing like that. I said, well, listen, I had to do what I have to do on my end to protect me. So I'm going to do what the restraining order says, and I'm going to keep my distance. I got the texts from, that she sent me constantly and, everything that, transpired. It was nothing fearful, nothing disrespectful, on either end, hers nor mine. You
Since
know,
the party,
hmm?
since the
Yes.
party ain't been
Oh,
nothing.
no, since we had that last conversation, all conversations been shut down. And
Oh,
she even
since
tried
you,
to,
hold on. I'm just trying to get a good understanding. So since you told her like I'm not coming over there to watch him because
mm,
I put myself
Why
in
you
harm's
couldn't
way.
take them? Why you couldn't take them and go where you want to go with them for that
she
time
had
frame?
to, he had the restraint, they put the restraining order, she added him to the
Oh, he
restraining
owned
order
it
as well.
too.
Yes.
Oh,
No. What I'm saying is y'all not following the restraining order, so that don't mean
Oh,
nothing when
oh,
y'all make a
I get you. I
disagreement,
get you.
right?
I get
You
you.
can take your
Because
baby wherever you want to from 8 a.m. to 2,
to
whatever. Why you
two,
got to stay at her
I
house?
got you. Oh,
That's what
because
I'm
that would
saying.
be,
Like,
I got
yeah.
you. Because that would be too much of an inconvenience for her to have to come
Oh,
all the way
okay.
to where I'm at,
Yeah.
or me not wanting to show her who I'm staying with.
You
You
can't
know,
take me.
but there you
oh.
go. So it's under her terms, or
It's
it's
time to
not
play
happening.
ball. It's time to play ball. You all in
So
anger management classes and stuff, and I'm not saying that
mm,
that's a bad thing because I want to sign up for some and don't nobody got me on the damn for order of protection, but in real life you gotta go through all this stuff. You might as well go for the gusto. I'm just gonna keep it
yeah,
real. Like we here for this type of stuff. Y'all do
yeah,
not have to feel like y'all can't do something if you know somebody who can just answer a question for you or help you out a little bit. Now we ain't gonna just damn near walk you through, hold your hand, but because we
yeah,
can't, right? You in New Jersey,
right,
we here. We that, but this is why we have this platform. We got too many resources and too many people to hear, that you feel that you can't do something when we know you can.
Yeah,
right.
man.
And that's what gave me the more, because like I said, I was depleted, and I said, listen, it is what it is. I'm done with it. Period. When I either when she dropped the restraining order or when he turned 18, I'm just so done and over it. I was whooped. But constantly hearing, y'all talk and people get on y'all platform and share their stories, it put the light back in me to fight.
Yeah.
you know,
That's
and
good.
I don't want him, even if I don't complete it, I don't want him to think that I, didn't fight. And
Like, yeah, yeah.
it's
Like I
just
tell
crazy because
everybody, man, you don't know what's going on over there. Like if she's a play all these dirty games, you don't
What
know
else is she capable
if she's
of?
looking at your son like, oh, you look like your daddy, and give him a little extra licks. You know what I'm saying? So you
And not to
yeah.
cut you off,
Now,
baby.
I'm not gonna, put that on. If so, I don't know, but from when I got back with him or whatever, he is a very happy baby, healthy baby, well,
But
kid for a
that's
baby.
the physical.
So,
That's the
right,
physical because he
but
only two. So a lot of things he's
and
not even recognizing just
yeah.
yet.
oh,
And that's what I
but
was about to say to piggyback
he
off of
is
what he was
because
saying.
look, it happened two times. The first time, he came over for my mom's birthday party. And by the time I got there, he was in the room with and it's been a while since I seen him then. I think it's been about maybe 3, 4 months since I seen him. And when I walk in, he turned around and see me and he pushes everybody out the way to get to me. And then that night before he was to go back, he went to sleep on my shoulders and I tried to lay him down and he jumped back up like, I know it's going to be a while before I see you again. So I'm soaking all this in now. And then the
Mhm.
same thing from since his birthday when I last seen him. I take him outside, I let him run around, get that energy out and everything like that. But this particular time, he didn't want to do all that running around. He wanted to just me to pick him up and hold him. Like he knew that it's gonna be a while before I see you again.
Now
I
is
knew
the time.
Yeah.
Now is the time.
so
Now it's the time you gotta fight.
He's still young, and so this can come and go, and it may not have no adverse effects on him. But if
mm,
you wait, if you
mm,
don't do your due diligence, and you look up and he's able to comprehend some of this stuff, and then it will turn into abuse. And I'm not just talking about physical. Like
right,
people hate to hear the ugly truth, but
right,
you gotta be realistic. Like it's okay to see the good in somebody and the good in a situation, but it's not okay to be delusional, right?
right.
Anybody that's willing to play the games that you say that this woman has played is capable
Mm,
of going to the next level if it doesn't work in her favor or go her way.
oh,
And we've
yeah,
seen it time and time
you right,
again.
Your
you
daddy ain't shit.
You ain't no different.
Your daddy ain't
you right,
shit.
So,
you right.
they don't even think, and this is the kicker. They don't think that they're being abusive or they're doing nothing wrong. They think that their
Yeah,
feelings are validated. They are so in this
you
world
you
of
right.
me,
Y'all
me,
right.
me, me, me,
Yes.
that she can start. She's probably already, and she's talking about spitting in somebody's face and doing the things she's carrying on. I know that this kid has been around something that he probably shouldn't have been around.
Hearing remarks of her talking about y'all situations.
It's
She
just,
Right.
it's just inevitable.
changing his view of how he look at
It's
his
inevitable
hero, which is you.
because he
Right.
can't love you too much.
So right
Mm,
now, you probably don't see the effects, but I'm telling you, we've been there. When you start
mm,
getting to the ages 5 and 6, then they
mm,
start second guessing who you are because
mm,
they taking on the feelings of their mother.
Even four, if they
Yeah,
mm,
smart.
yeah,
And
even for it. You
these
gotta,
kids
yeah,
nowadays is
smart.
smart.
So they pick up
yeah.
on everything. They always
Yeah.
in grown people mouth. So yeah,
Mm,
And
yeah.
that's
You're absolutely
we
right.
don't even want you to even get to that level.
yeah,
Like
go fight
you need
now.
to do what you gotta do to get some substantiated rights towards your son where you don't have to be up under her thumb. And it
Right.
might not be as much as you want or how you like it. And people always have this way of, oh well, I want this, and if it don't go that way, then the courts is this and that and that. Look, you gotta play the game to get something, cause your baby needs something. You might can't give him everything right now, but he
Mm,
only two. So even if it's every other weekend, even if it's 1 hour a week, whatever it is that you ain't
mm,
gotta deal with her telling you what to do, it's worth it. And
Yeah,
if
true.
you don't
True.
go fight, you went through all this for nothing.
True.
exactly.
True.
For
True.
nothing. Your point
True.
don't mean nothing. You talking for nothing. You telling us that you walked away, you did this, you did that. We hear you saying that you went to try to be a good dad and go against this order and all that, but you can't hurt you. Cause if it ain't no you, it ain't gonna be no you for him.
Exactly.
Right.
So you
Right.
have to do what you gotta do. And I know you gonna do it.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
I know you gonna do it. That's why I'm talking like this. Cause you don't have no time to waste. And this is your only baby.
And
Yeah.
you very well spoken, and it seems like you an intelligent man. Like I'm
Yeah.
telling you, you could do
You
well.
could go right in that courtroom, state the
Mhm.
facts,
Cause
do what you gotta do.
we went pro se. She was my paralegal. I was the person that was
Mhm.
in there talking for myself,
Right. Right.
and
Yeah.
it,
Definitely.
it
I'm
worked
definitely
out,
about
man.
to.
It worked out.
We ain't know nothing. Do you
Yeah,
understand me? Where to
Right.
start? We had to figure it out.
yeah.
We
Mhm.
had to figure it out. And you get you I know you gonna do this.
I mean, if you need anything, man, you can just hit us in the inbox. We'll shoot you any information. Give
Because
you any
right now,
pointers.
this no contact phase, you determine. If you can do that, you can go fight. Because
Right.
Yeah.
you ain't gonna just walk away from your baby. You got to
Mm-mm.
get active while you doing this no contact because it mean everything. And this
Yeah.
whole thing about this protective order, you, I don't know if you're gonna have to. How long is it for again?
I believe
Oh, until
5
you
years
complete.
or yeah, till I complete the program.
So they ain't give you no time frame on
No
it, like
time.
2 years.
No time.
That's crazy.
No time frame.
So,
No.
are you can't? Do you know? Do you have an idea of when you will complete it? Is it in the near future or?
It's gonna be in the near future. I think the classes is like it's like 3 month classes. I'm not sure where how many days it is a week or whatever, but um I keep y'all
Yeah,
updated on
keep
the
us posted. Let us
progress.
know. Because if
Mm,
you went that stint, that 4 month stint, without saying, yo, baby, you can do it again to get them classes done. Go get that order of protection up off you, and then you got to go to family court to get your rights for your baby.
right.
Okay, all right. So before we get up out of here, is it anything on your end that you think you could have done better?
Yeah, I could have not fed into it, and after you go through something, everybody always have the oh, I've been through that, or I've been through that, and they have all this advice, but I believe I could have handled it better. And that fact, where as far as keeping up with my court date, um, being more better with keeping receipts of things like text messages and things like that. Listening to the people that was telling me the red flag that I chose to ignore.
Yes.
And then I'm like, and then the sources they was coming from was reliable sources, mother, brother, and now what they was telling me is coming to fruition, but I held a lot in because I'm like, I don't want to. I'm big on family, and she reconciled with her mother and everything. Like her mother grateful for me because I told her how big I am on family. She seen how me and my family was, so it made her reach out to her mother after not talking to her for a number of years.
Mm-hmm.
So not paying attention to the red flags. Uh, I can't say I was over emotional because I guess with my secondary emotion, I could have handled that better. My primary emotion is valid. I felt what I felt, but my
Absolutely.
reaction to it from the start of everything that got the ball rolling to the her putting me on the child support thing, how that came about, my response to it, because my thing, I hold stuff in and I internalize it, and then after I'm going through the pros and cons and I'm trying to come up with excuse for the person or whatever, and I don't, then I start my barrage of questioning, like, why didn't and then so
I'm the same way,
being
so I definitely understand you.
being able to express myself better, you know um that's those are things I would have definitely done differently.
Okay.
If you
Um,
could kick an addiction, you can kick a case in court's ass. Okay?
Mm.
Nothing, and I want to ask you, do you have a fear of family court? Like, what are your plans?
well, I have to go down to the court and get the copies of the paperwork of what I have to do, the classes that I need to take, and everything like that, or the stipulations of what I need to do in order to get these visitations, to get the ball rolling.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's first and foremost. Then after I do that, I'm gonna reach out to see, what places provide these type of services that I need. And as I'm doing that, find out what it is I need to get back into court. So once the class is done, I can go ahead and start that process instead of getting to that point and then figuring out what's the next step. Start that as I'm taking the classes. Okay, I did this. Now I have to put in the paperwork to the courts and want to hear whoever needs to have it, and let them know that the class is completed. What else did I have to do, or whatever the case may be.
Okay.
Okay.
That's fair. I just want to be clear that we like to all be on the same page. If it ain't already happening, you plan on fighting. I mean, and when we talk to you again, I don't want to hear no.
Yeah.
She called me and said nothing about God, because God wants you to go to court and fight for your
Yeah.
kid.
Mm,
She could be allowing God all she wants to. Right now, you on your own assignment. Your baby needs you, and anybody that get in the way of that, or even got you in a position that they in the way of it now, you got to handle that first. And I know you
Yep.
got a good heart, and that is so admirable. Coming from where you came from and where you going, everybody don't deserve that.
Yeah.
mm,
Everybody don't deserve that.
You,
And it's gonna be tough. It's gonna get tougher because the time that it go past, if you know anybody, and we telling you this, this man went months without talking or seeing his kids. Like,
mm,
when I say months, it almost reached a year,
and
because
they was 1,000 miles away.
1,000 miles away, we had already started the pro se process. And this, you know, every case is different, but I'm saying this to say that's when it's gonna get the darkest.
Yeah.
mm,
August was just last month, and I know it's probably hard for you every day, every day, every day. But the longer time goes past, the harder it is going to get. So
Yeah.
you really have to be active, and
mm.
you really
I
gotta
know you
move.
should.
Yeah.
Uh,
Let's think about your end game, man.
You gotta meet them
constant,
goals. You
constant
got to.
reminder, and even when I'm on TikTok scrolling, and I see, the thing that people post with their kids, and I'm remembering how like I said, yeah, like I said, I just was depleted with it, the fighting, but hearing, listening to y'all podcast and talk to people, and people, expressing what they going through and everything. Like I said, when I say I was done with it. Like it's gonna be what it's gonna be. I cross the bridge when I get there, whatever. But then, y'all hearing y'all made me think like, nah, it's not, just about me and this. He needs me, And I'm like,
Mhm.
man, I ain't going no, ain't no court gonna tell me what days I can see him, when I can't see him, and I'm like, hold up, she doing it, so
Yeah.
and now it
They
ain't
Exactly.
nothing.
they not telling you, they telling her.
Right.
Exactly, and that's how you
So,
have to look at it. Sometimes that court order is your best friend. Don't
mm,
nobody want to be under these stipulations. People do not have kids for them to have to go through no shit like this. Like, who
right.
wants to have a child and then you have to follow a schedule, be on this set the time, do this, do that. But when it comes down to, it's all about who you had this kid with. Hey, that's the cards that was laid.
Mhm.
You have to play the game. It's
Yes.
not about you. It's
All
not
right.
about you. And you can't go back to your old ways and old habits and letting this person trick you up, because they're
Mhm.
gonna do all that so that you can lose your kid.
Right.
That's what
That's
that's
another
what
thing
it's
people
all
don't
about.
get. They caught up in the whole us, and this and that, and I said that, and fuck you, and bitch bye, and all that. That baby is going to lose.
And every child needs
And
their
you don't want
father,
that.
man.
You don't want that.
So once again, we thank you for sharing your story with us,
Keep us posted.
and it really hit home more than what you think, because it's a lot of stuff that we didn't dealt with, that you didn't dealt with. So uh man, just keep fighting, man. And this is gonna be like the toughest part for you, like my wife said, of not being able to see your kid. But you gotta understand, like she used to tell me, man, them kids don't stay little forever. And
Right.
you gotta look at it as, yeah, he's only 2 now, but think about when the rest of his life, you got all of that. You
Yes,
know
you're
what I'm
gonna have
saying?
more time with
You're
him
gonna have more time than
to
these 2
replace
years.
this
So this why
time.
she thinks she's doing something at this age.
He's not even gonna remember this stuff.
Only thing he remembers is daddy was there. Daddy
Yes.
hold me. Daddy took me outside. That's all he remembering right now. That's why I be telling you, by the time they get to them 6, 7 stages, that's when they really start picking up on stuff. And that's when you want to be there.
Yep.
So
Yep.
that's very
Do
important.
the work now so you
Yeah.
don't have to do it later. Cause later it ain't greater later. It's
Yeah.
worse.
All
All
right,
right.
man. But we appreciate you.
Thank you
Likewise,
so
great
much for
people.
your
I appreciate
transparency
y'all.
and thank you
Thank
and keep
y'all
us
for
posted. We're
allowing us
gonna be
to
reaching out. We gotta reach out to y'all to see what's going
appreciate
on.
it. And I appreciate y'all allowing us a platform to express this, because in my mind, I'm like, hold up. Woman this, woman that, woman that. No disrespect to women, but some women you like, oh, but what about us? We hurt too. We cry too. Like, what about us? And like, I'm thinking like, yeah, I'm gonna start me something that say, listen, we hurt too. Nobody asked. Like, even real quick with her son, when she said, because it was like I was supposed to adopt him, and so when she was like, oh yeah, he hurt. I said, listen, you have to understand this, right? At the end of the day, that's your blood. When we went through what we went through, he called you and said, Mom, are you all right? Now, if that was CJ, he would have called you and said, Mom, are you all right? And then he would have said, Dad, are you all right? But no, because your son did that because that's your blood. You
Mm-hmm.
know, but
Not to mention you're a man. I mean, we hate to
mm,
I hate to say it, but you right. Don't nobody give a fuck about y'all, how y'all feel. Y'all supposed to be strong all the time. No, y'all not supposed to cry. Do this, do that. So what? He should have did that. When y'all just as equally human as a woman, and it don't
mm,
make you weak to be human. We got our roles, and everybody needs to figure out where they fit and play their part. And especially as being a parent, it's no judgment because anybody should go to the bat for their kids. These is our kids we talking about. Everything
mm,
off limits. Call you weak, sad, crap. This is your child.
Yeah.
So you don't have to hold up no type of composure and look to nobody to give you no type of acknowledgement when they playing with your kid,
Exactly.
right?
mm,
All men need support. All women need support. It go both ways, but we know how society rock that boat. And
mm,
that's why we do this.
Especially in
Because
these
this is a
situations.
safe space.
Yeah.
mm.
But man,
Appreciate
keep doing the people that you got in your circle that's that's helping you. You hold on to them. Them certain individuals that that's gonna ride with you. And
it.
man, go get your kid, man. We appreciate you.
Appreciate y'all. Y'all have a
All
blessed
right.
night.
You
All right.
Thanks a
too.
lot.
All right.
God bless.
All right, man. If anybody else want to come up, man, just hit the link in the bio. If not, it's gonna be a wrap.
I just, this stuff, it's so many people out here going through this stuff. Y'all don't know. Like, whether people telling their stories or not, we know it because we live it. And so you may come on this platform, you may not understand, but that's fine. If it ain't for you, keep it moving. But this space and what we doing here is for a reason.
Hmm.
Because this stuff is happening. And it ain't just about the adults that get on this platform to tell their story. It's about the kids that's suffering behind their story. That's
Yeah.
all I got.
Who's the deadbeat? We out.